All righty. Let's see if this thing starts. There we go. I was waiting for it to start going. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. So here we are. It is Wednesday. We were digging out today. If you saw my video from earlier today, we probably ended up with about another foot of snow on top of what we already had. So we got quite a bit of snow up here at the homestead. So that was fun. It was a fun day. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and we're going to be talking about is the country going to go, or is the country going to go into bankruptcy? And we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you some statistics just from New York, not from any other state, just from New York, and and we're going to kind of do a discussion on that based on those numbers, which are just unbelievable if you think about it. But we'll get into that in a moment. I just want to remind everybody that if we have any issues with the stream, that I will get back on right away as soon as I possibly can. Also, this is a very family-friendly oriented stream, so I would ask people to be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness, and just be kind. If you can't do that, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue, no notifications, Tessa. Yeah, a lot of times what you got to do, you periodically have to check to see if they've unsubscribed you from me, because they have a tendency to do that to people. And then check your bell icon to see if the notifications are there too. I'm pretty consistent. I generally Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday I do my streams, and it doesn't deviate unless I let you guys know ahead of time. But generally, you'll know that it's going to be. I'll be on 8 o'clock on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So, Kate says I'm fleeing New York State. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. So, but anyway, just please be decent. And like I said, we got these awesome moderators lit up in blue that watch everything. So, we just don't need the pettiness, and I don't like it. Just got the notification 1 minute ago. Couldn't find it anywhere. Well, I'll tell you, I didn't put up the stream until like 6 o'clock, something like that. Because we had a power outage earlier here. Not our power, but the internet was out, and so I know my sister had called the cable company, and so I was like, I couldn't get on because I was going to set up the stream at like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, well, okay, I can't get on. I guess I'll take a nap. So that's what I did. I took a nap for about an hour and a half. But anyway, yeah. So when I got back up, then it was going. So I set up the stream then. So I didn't really set the stream up. I normally set it up earlier in the day, but I didn't set it up until about 6 o'clock. So just so you know, ahead of time with that. All right. So New York State. Now these numbers are staggering if you think about it. Okay. In a normal year, I want you to really think about this. Okay. In a normal year, New York State pays out 2.1 billion in unemployment benefits. 2.1 billion. It's a lot of money, right? This last year, New York State paid out $65 billion in unemployment, which is literally the equivalent of 30 years worth of unemployment benefits. I mean, that, number one, is not sustainable. There's no way that you can do that long term and have it work. There's just absolutely no way. Okay. So that was amazing. Then what they were saying was the number of jobs lost was like 12% of all jobs were lost in New York State. The next closest, I think 6%, was the next state that was the closest. So New York State's lost 12% of their jobs. Most of those jobs were down in New York City area, down there in that area. Okay. That's unbelievable. They're saying that it will take until at least 2025 to recoup those jobs. Now, I think that's overly optimistic because we don't know what's going to happen this year. I mean, this year is still up in the air, and we just don't know what's going to happen that way. The other thing that I found amazing was out of that 65 billion that they paid out in unemployment, 5.5 billion was fraud. People fraudulently making claims for unemployment. Now, I know a friend of mine lives around a corner. He's not ever been out of work through this whole thing because he has one of those jobs where he has to be to work. Somebody had made an unemployment claim in his name. So they had contacted him at work and was, did you file? I mean, his work brought him into the office. Did you file for unemployment? And he's like, what are you talking about? Of course not. So there's part of that fraudulent stuff that's going on. People are pretending to be other people and trying to collect unemployment benefits for themselves. It is amazing. I mean, the sad thing is there's always going to be people trying to get over. Always. Any way they can run a scam, they're going to run a scam. It's just the reality of it. It is the way it is. But think on those numbers that I just gave you. $65 billion. Now, this is what they're paying out in unemployment. But the funny thing is, not that it's funny, because none of it's funny. Where's that revenue coming from? Because you're not getting that tax revenue right now like you were before. They tax everything here in New York State. I mean, it's like absolutely insane what everything is taxed. But, we have an 8% sales tax for the state. But if people aren't out shopping, they're not spending that money. If people are not out going to New York City, to plays, to, the opera, to the Yankee games, to the Mets games, to go see the Rangers play, to see the Knicks play, that revenue's not there. Think about the lost revenue. Just let's look at it from this aspect. The lost revenue taxes wise from people not going to sporting events. Just from that, the New Jersey Devils is another one, like hockey, the hockey stuff, the New York Rangers. You continuously have these issues moving forward. The revenue's not coming in. So where are they going to make up that shortfall? That would be the question. I mean, how do you put out literally 30 years worth of unemployment benefits in 1 year and have that be, to be able to continue to do that in a long-term form? It's just not. There's just no way. And the Buffalo Bills, exactly. I'm sorry. Can't forget about the Buffalo Bills. And they had a great year this year. But people are not going to the bars because you can't go to the bars and pack a bar and watch the Bills play. They're not going to Rich Stadium to pack the stadium with 80,000+ people to watch the Bills play. So now, and you look at the no parking, right? So they're not getting the revenue from the parking, and people make a lot of money from having, people park their cars. That's a revenue source for a lot of people. So that's not there because there's nobody going to those games, or it's very limited, the number of people that can go to the games. It's insanity if you think about it, and the money that's lost. So when you're paying out $65 billion in unemployment benefits, and then you have that not as much revenue coming in, that tax-based revenue, where's it coming from? And they're going to have to try to make it up somehow. I'm very curious to see, and plus Cuomo driving out residents. Exactly. There's been a mass exodus out of New York for years. If anybody young, I would absolutely recommend them to get out of New York State. Absolutely would recommend them to get out of here. But